Welcome back, everybody. Tibbers here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today, I'm joined by the amazing voice actor Baldwin Williams Jr., the voice of Dr. Harley Sawyer over at Playtime Code. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview.
I'm sorry. I was trying to shift because I saw that there was a glare. I'm like, I can't have any glare. There we go.
Don't worry. All these plushies behind me are glaring every day.
I like
every
that.
Day. But thanks again so much for doing this interview with me. I truly do appreciate it so much. To start off, why don't you introduce yourself and let us know what your pronouns are as well?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Baldwin Williams Jr. My pronouns are he, him, his.
So we'll go ahead and dive right in. What inspired you to become a voiceover artist?
I would say for me, the countless hours of watching cartoons as a kid. And I think I realized, I think when I got a little bit older, like maybe like 10, 11, 12, and I saw the credits, I was like, wait, people get paid to do this? Could I get paid to do this? I was like, questions for later. And when I say questions for later, like literally, I would say like that was like what 10 at that time. So I would say like until like 15, I was like, you know what? So if we never really followed up on that to see if we could actually do this. I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's get some reading books because there was a voiceover book that I got that was called Voiceover Voice Actor by Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt. And when I read it, I was like, maybe I can do this. I think even that summer, I think it was the summer of like I think 2015 or so, I was like, I wonder if I can do like a Mark Hamill voice, like for Joker. And I was able to do it. And I was like, wow. Took me a while, but hey, I still got it. And but yeah, like it was an interesting process, and like by doing impressions, I was able to like slowly pick up like maybe I can do this. But yeah, to answer your question, by watching a copious amount of cartoons.
What are some of your favorite cartoons that really inspired you?
That's a very good question, Tibbers. Okay, a few of the cartoons. All right. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
Good
The
one.
reason why I bring that up is because there's one voice actor. Well, there are two voice actors, but the second one of the voice actors I'm referring to is Nicole Sullivan because she voices Mira Nova, and the second actor that came to mind was Wayne Knight, and I was enamored with his performance. I'm just like, because it's hammy. It's not a serious show. Of course, it would have like, part one, part two, and maybe even part three sometimes. But I really love the performance of Wayne Knight as Zurg because it went from like, of course, like the hammy, Saturday morning cartoon type villain,
Mm.
but then it would have this menace. It was just like, oh, like it would like the only other comparison that I could think of like for another voice actor, like and it's obscure as well. Have you ever heard of a cartoon called Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yes.
Right. Long John Baldry as Dr. Robotnik. Like there weren't any menacing moments from him because again, Saturday morning cartoon. But when he was funny, the man was funny. But I would also love to see what he could have done for menacing, like a menacing Robotnik,
Yeah.
Eggman, if you will, because we've heard Dean Bristow and we've heard Mike Pollock as Eggman, and of course this was before like Sega started to like at least to attempt to streamline what Sonic sounds like, and along with the rest of the cast. But I would say you know Long John Baldry was just him, and Wayne Knight have that like comedic. Both can be menacing, and also comedic. And I wish Baldry was able to explore more of that, but I
Mm.
definitely appreciate that for Wayne Knight. So, well, it's funny now. It's like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Buzz Lightyear Star Command, and I don't have a specific show for this I would say any role that Kevin Michael Richardson had in any cartoon, and because like again, the man, he'd be working.
Yeah.
I love his performance as the Joker in the 2004 Batman. I really love his performance there. The Batman is another one of my favorite cartoons. Of course, B-Taz Batman with Kevin Conroy. Rest in peace.
Mhm.
The last cartoon I will say, you know what, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron.
Another
I
good one.
really much love that show. I
My
really love that show.
childhood.
But yeah, yeah, again, it holds up. But yes, Buzz Lightyear Star Command, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Jimmy Neutron. Oh, but okay. And because I didn't watch this as consistently as a kid, but I have to mention it, Disney's Gargoyles.
Oh, Gargoyles is good. That takes me back literally to, most people don't remember this. Sega Genesis came out there for a little while, had a Sega Connect where you connected through your cable wire and you had a streaming service of games. Like, it was revolutionary for the time. Not even joking. I played Gargoyles on Sega Genesis like that.
That's cool.
Yes, it was so cool. But yeah, I watched Gargoyles all the time growing up. I'm also old as hell, but still, like, like, so everything that you're mentioning, like, these are shows that I've all seen as well. These are things that I definitely resonate with as someone who wanted to be a voice actor too growing up. Like, I was like, these are the people that I'm focusing on so heavily. So those were great examples. Thank you for that. Before becoming a voiceover artist, did you have any other life plans, or did you know that this is what you wanted to do as a career?
It's funny because at one point I wanted to be a medical illustrator because I used to draw. Unfortunately, high school kind of killed that. I'm still trying to resuscitate that chemistry class. Anyways, I wanted to be a medical illustrator, but my parents were very encouraging of me to be able to, like, of course, pursue my passion. Of course, do what you can to have bread on the table, but still pursue your passions. And I'm glad that I didn't go to the medical illustrator route because I'd be in school for a very long time.
Mhm.
And I'd rather not know an intimate detail of what a human heart looks like. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. That's just me. To those who can. But for me, nah. But yeah, I along with that, I thought that would more so be a behind the scenes type person, like be a cameraman or whatever, whatnot. But life is funny,
Yeah.
and it was just like, nah, you're in the shadows. I'm like, drats, but the shadows, and it's just like, nah. And I've been able to be in the spotlight, so to say. Social media, TikTok, cat voiceovers. As of recent, a T-Rex voiceover with a chicken.
Remember who you are. You are an apex predator, the most feared being across the land. Remember. Paka.
Small things, and people have been able to they've been able to warm up to my voiceovers, and even the small things, and even when I'm able to be in, like, like in large projects, it's just a blessing.
Mhm.
And I'm just glad to have a supportive audience, and hopefully soon a consistent community.
That's
you know
excellent, and you're totally right with that. Life is funny, but it has a way sometimes of coming back around. I've always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I was studying musical theater in college, but ended up changing to electronic media and broadcasting because there's a lot of things I didn't agree with, where they were just like, basically, if you want to get anywhere, you're going to have to lose weight. You're going to change this and this about yourself. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do all that. I got a face for radio. Let's just go in that direction. Yeah. so,
Wow.
so I've been, streaming on Twitch since 2020 when the pandemic hit. And I just luckily had a break last year when someone had joined my Twitch stream, messaged me afterwards like, "Hey, I'm working on a project. Would you be interested?" And we got to talking, and now I'm just doing background voices for animes, but that's still something. It's a foot
That's
in the door.
amazing.
It's a foot in the door, and that's what I appreciate.
Yeah, like Tippers, a lot of people would kill to get to where you are now. Because the one thing because someone described it to me as this: you may feel like you're on day 2, and like again, you have a long way to go, but a lot of people are trying to get to your day 1.
Yeah.
So listen, and plus, dubbing for anime, it looks easy, but it's an art.
It really
It's
is.
art. I did stuff for practice, and I'm just like, how do they speak this fast and have it be discernible? You know?
It's hard, but it's fun. Luckily, the projects I've been a part of, they were just like, here's a synopsis. We want you to just, improv all this, and it's been real fun for me just to be like, okay, I'm gonna just be absolutely as ridiculous as possible, and they put it in there, and I love that.
I love that for you, man, because that's the dream.
Exactly.
That's literally the dream.
It really is. So, can you tell me what was the casting process like for the Harley Sawyer and Dog Day roles in Poppy Playtime?
Well, Tibbers, it all started from a TikTok cat video. How it happened was this, and I have to tell this story, and it's not a long story, but I have to tell it in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I believe like it was February 2022. At this time, I've been posting stuff on TikTok. A friend of mine, a mutual of mine, encouraged me to get on TikTok. At first, I was like, but after some convincing, they're like, try it. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I do that. I post, some videos and everything. But, I'm not the one to go look up for attention. I wanted it to be the fact that, like, hey, this guy does voices. Maybe give him a chance in certain things and everything and whatnot. But my content wasn't sticking. And, that's okay. So, and I tried and tried and tried different things, but nothing was really sticking. And Tibbers, I was actually at the end of my creative rope. I was like, well, I've tried everything. God knows I've tried. And I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, I might as well delete this TikTok account and never be seen again. And then I saw a cat video, and it was a cat on a staircase.
I have guarded this domain for over a decade. From pest, fire, and brimstone. And you dare say no more treats.
When I saw that video, I was like, if I had to give that cat a voice, what would he say? And because I came up with, because like when he was staring out the staircase, it was like, I've guarded this domain for over a decade for pest, fire, and whatnot. And you dare say no more treats. And I'm thinking, well, this was cute. This was cute. This is gonna go into the void. It was fun. Another one right into the void. And I posted it, and I thought nothing of it. Then the next day, I think I had like reaction posts and like funny jokes and everything, but because I had like 6,000 followers at the time, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then after I post that first cat video, it jumped from like 6 to 10, and then to 12, and then to 14. And I'm just like, who are you people? and I'm just like, and people are like, do more. I'm just like, okay. And then like, of course, because I was in grad school during this time. So like, I was like, I'll do some maybe when school's finished. And I was able to finish grad school that year. And then I was like, I wonder if people still would like to see cat views. Because this is September, October. And I was like, maybe I'll do another cat video and everything. And the one, I did two. One was with the cat bringing their owner a ring pop.
Arise, human.
What is that?
Sustenance.
A ring pop?
Yes.
Why?
Flavor.
And then the other one was with a candle. A cat. There was a black cat staring at a candle with Lord of the Rings music. I think Lord of the Rings and cats. It's just always a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
It's always You see, I want my credit. If anyone makes Lord of the Rings with cats, remember me. And basically, because I was like, mate, what if I do another ominous cat voiceover video? Let's see what happens. People loved it again, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm onto something. Like again, I know I'm just doing a duet and everything, and just adding a voiceover, but hey, maybe I should keep going. And so I've done that and everything, whatnot. Now, going now back to your main question. So I posted on Twitter. A lot of people responded. A lot of directors, producers, whatever, whatnot. And I believe it was Micah that reached out to me, and he reached out to me via DMs on Twitter and email. And it's funny, Timbers, because I still remember it. Because when I got the DM message, because I was like, oh, someone DM'd me. And I looked at the monster, at the profile picture, and it was like, Huggy Wuggy and everything. I was just like, but I didn't know his name. I was like, is that what I think it is? And then I'm just like, ain't that monster from that one game? And then Micah was like, hey, Baldwin, my name is Micah. I work with Mob Entertainment. The team and I saw your cat voiceover videos, and we absolutely love it. Because at the time, I released a compilation in October, November, and everything, whatnot. And Micah asked me, would you be interested in voicing our mysterious villain character? And I was just like, mysterious villain character? Why, yes, Micah, I would be interested. And it's funny because when I got the audition lines and everything, I had a voice sample to keep in mind. I was like, okay, let me listen to the sample. And then I heard in the sample, the flame calls to me.
The flame calls to me, not by its warmth or its pumpkin-spiced aroma, but by its desire for calamity and destruction.
And then I was just like, hey, wait a second. This guy sounds like me. I was like, wait, that is me. I have my own reference. This is kind of cool. So after that audition, and when they heard the lines, Mike was like, okay, the role is yours. I'm like, oh, okay, great. And because I was like, well, I'm going to be in a video game. I never thought it would be part of the indie horror franchise. I'm surprised, but hey, yay. And then this was for Project Playtime.
Mm-hmm.
And, I did the VHS tapes, and I was like, wow. Well, maybe one day we'll see this character. And then I believe it was the last year, October, funny enough, of last year, there was a casting call for Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. And with it, there were a couple of characters. It was Nightmare radio voice along with the reporter, and no, it was Nightmare radio voice, DogDay, and Harley Sawyer, which I already had. But I was trying to see, okay, if I could be able to voice DogDay and the Nightmare radio voice, along with Harley Sawyer, which is already a role I have, 3 roles for Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 would look pretty nice on my resume.
Oh, it absolutely does.
So I auditioned for DogDay. It was a 2-step process. I was able to get through the first round, along with Nightmare radio voice. And because I was thinking about it, and because when I saw the image of DogDay, I was like, the DogDay is because it's more sort of like a high register voice, not a complete high register, but not like lower register like Harley Sawyer.
Yeah.
So when because I was like, because there's this meme that's around that an artist made. It was like local voice actor man, and it was like he played serious, gruff, intense character and fish in this so-and-so cartoon, and I was like, low-key, that could be me. If I could be able to nail this, I was just like, God, please, it would be cool. And after the second phase, I was able to get the role for Dog Day. And I remember, Tibbers, when it came to like the recording session, I was on my knees. I'm like, I gotta lock in.
Yeah.
God, I gotta lock in because it's only a minute and 30-second scene. Because after this, Dog Day is no longer seen or heard from. And I'm like, if we don't hear from him again, I want to make sure I go all in.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like do or die. And I want to make sure that like I put my all into it and not just, have a mid performance. I just try my best. And I was able to do my best. And I was like, well, I hope people like my performance and everything and whatnot.
You're Poppy's angel. Come to save us. Nothing left to save. Not here. Lord Catnap's home, Angel. Their home. A myriad pairs of eyes are on you now. Watching, waiting, hungry. They want nothing more than to crawl beneath your skin and eat away at you bit by little bit. Fill what feels empty inside themselves. That thing. Catnap. The prototype is his god, and this is what he does to heretics. These little toys follow Catnap to avoid that very fate, and in return, they are fed. We try to fight it, the prototype's control. I am the last of the smiling critters. Listen to me. You need to get out of this place. You need to live. You and Poppy could fix this. End this madness. The torment. Oh no. Oh no. Leave me. Please. Just go. Run.
I can tell you now they did.
I didn't know how Timbers, I didn't know how much people would get attached to the character. Because I remember, and oh my gosh, it killed me. It killed me when, and it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It killed me when Mob delayed the game, and I was just like, what do you mean, January? And I'm just like, I'm in anguish. Because I want to talk about it, but I'm not breaking my NDA, Tibbers. I refuse. I am a professional. But I didn't know, like I didn't know how much people would love the performance.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, Tibbers. And like, I'm grateful that people were able to receive it well. And yeah. So, yeah, that's how I kind of got Harley Sawyer and Dog Day. And it's just interesting because like I wasn't part of the Poppy Playtime fandom. I knew of it, but I wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But just like by just reading theories on Reddit and Twitter and everything whatnot, it was surreal actually when Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 came out, when Matt Pat did when he was at the head of game theory, when he analyze the voice like Harley Sawyer and everything. I'm like, yo, I'm on game theory.
Yeah.
I grew up watching game theory. This is insane. But yeah, it was just surreal, for lack of better words.
No, that's an amazing story to hear.
Yeah, and it all came from cat videos. It all came from cat videos. I owe cats my life.
Like if anyone disparages cats, you should stop, because look at what it's done for you.
Listen, I will be the number one cat stan, bro. Because again, if it weren't, yeah, man, I'm just grateful for cats. And
we're specifically talking about the animal, not the musical, everybody.
yeah.
Because I agree with Patty Lapone on that it's a little bit overrated. Anywho, moving on. Have there been other characters within the Poppy Playtime franchise that you might have wanted to voice?
catnap.
Catnap.
And the reason why, because like I know that it was more so of a, for lack of better terms, an airy, smoky voice. Because like I don't know why. I think when I read for catnap, I was like, what if I gave him a Venom voice? And I'm just like, I don't know how long he'll be talking. So I want to stick with what I know.
Yeah.
But I would be interested. Heck, I would be interested to see what Huggy Wuggy would sound like. But I don't think he's that sentient.
He is, but we don't know if he didn't have a voice box or if he was just mute or not. But he technically had voice lines through one of the cardboard cutouts. But obviously that was, I mean, I still have to figure out myself because that's lore I've not asked about if those were recorded by people that worked inside of Playtime Co. for Huggy itself, or if they actually had a voice box, because it's something we really don't know.
Yeah. Can I say this also too, regarding Harley Sawyer? Because I knew the character, like, okay, he's the evil doctor. Do you remember that the scenes from SpongeBob? And it's just like, oh, what? It's just an ordinary Krabby. Oh my goodness! That was me when learning about Harley Sawyer. Because when I thought about it, because when he said like, what if the people out working here aren't people? And I'm just like, and then finding out that he stuffed the brains and like what nervous systems of Playtime Co. employees into giant toys.
Yeah.
I was like, this man is diabolical.
Yeah,
I was like, this is evil. Like, this is evil. Because how do you think of that? What were you cooking? Who let him cook?
I'm hoping we find more about who let him cook in this next game.
Listen, I just have questions. Like, what in your right mind? Like, what board of directors approved of this, bro? Like, you're putting adults, children into these toys, and if I understand, like, what? Catnap is a kid in a giant toy due to the prototype. I'm just like, why? Why?
It's just such a good storyline, and the entirety of Poppy resonates with me because I had a very hard upbringing as a kid. So there were, especially with Catnap, I resonate a lot with them as their human self, Theo, just from what they went through, and unfortunately, being manipulated by the prototype, which and ended up leading to him becoming Catnap, which was just very unfortunate. At any angle you look at, like what they did was completely wrong. But yeah, I'm Poppy obsessed. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, and same because and I have to make sure I'm making sure I'm careful because I know a couple of my buddies, like they don't ask me, but they're like, "Oh, that new Poppy." They announced a new game for Poppy Playtime. Ain't that something, Baldwin? I'm just like, that's a nice ceiling. That's a very nice ceiling.
See, I like your approach because my approach when people ask me things, because being a partner and all, we're close with Mob. I just NDA. I didn't even give them the time of day of oh, look at that, or ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies. NDA.
Yeah, no, because I like that's my main thing. Like I don't even for me, I mean, of course, I sometimes say NDA, but sometimes I just want to take a photo. I'm like, that's a very nice ceiling. I wonder what paint they used. No, but it's fun being like because not a lot of people know that I voice literally a sunshine boy and most vile evil doctor with crimes. And I'll never forget this, Timbers. I think it was for chapter 3. It was for chapter 3, and a lot of people were like, oh, Dog Day. I think it's Dog Day. We was hung up in the cell and everything in the first official trailer. And they're like, oh, Dog is going to be a villain. He's going to chase us and everything because he's chasing us there. He's going to be a villain. I'm like, you fools. You have no idea. And then I was thinking, okay, they're like again, I was thinking, oh, they're going to be They're gonna be surprised. And then, just how to snatch their heartstrings out with
Yeah.
Dog Day. Yeah, you hate to see it. I mean, I like to see it, but hey,
Well, sometimes that has to happen because we have to have the plot continue.
the plot has to thicken.
Exactly. So we actually covered a little bit of this in my next question, but I do want to ask, have you played the games at all? And it's okay if you say no, because I just interviewed Elsie Lovelock earlier this week, who was the voice of Mommy Longlegs, and she has not played them. She loves horror. She has not played them, but she's watched other people play them.
I don't know Elsie, but she real for that because I haven't either. Because like horror, the indie horror scene wasn't. I mean, occasionally I'd watch some people play gameplay, but I never played it for myself because I'm like, I don't need to give myself a heart attack from Dog Day, please.
Yeah.
But eventually, at some point, I would like to at least try it. But soon. But I'm surprised. Also, I loved Elsie's performance as Mommy Longlegs. Like, I think it was the last scene, her final scene. I still get chills I still get chills when she said he'll make me part of him. I'm just like, whew.
What have you done? He'll make me part of him. You can't do this to me.
Like, it's chills. Like, Elsie, good stuff. Crackerjack stuff.
Yeah, she was phenomenal to, talk with and just hear her takes on playing Mommy, and I was just floored with it. And that interview is up now for those who probably haven't seen it. It is on my YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to watch it. So, Poppy Playtime is being made into a movie, which all of us partners in crimes are very excited about, and the fans as well. If asked, would you voice a character in the movie, or would you portray Harley?
I would have to ask for both because I would love to try my hand at acting. I've done a few small things, but I would love to be able to bring Harley to the screen and even Dog Day, because both of those roles, and especially being able to see, say for example, we see a little bit of Dog Day before he got hung up in this. So I would love to return back to that character and see and explore, who he was before he became Dog Day. Because again, it's Bigger Bodies Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to, and also for Harley Sawyer, I want, I have ideas of I guess the mannerisms and everything, very rigid. I feel him to be a very rigid, more so how do I say it? How do I say this? The most chaotic, neutral perfectionist. And I feel I would love to be able to try and, be able to bring him to the big screen. That would be great. I would love that challenge. And yeah, I would very much love that challenge. And hopefully, the powers that be will consider your boy.
I'm manifesting that for you because Elsie was also saying that it would be weird for her to hear someone else voicing Mommy. She would really love to do it, and I personally I agree with her. I feel like I've made connections with all the characters that I would prefer hearing your voice, or I would prefer seeing you portray Harley, and I think you would do a phenomenal job. Just the fact that, if you look at Harley overall, especially with some of the new ARG stuff that we found out, there's specific things he doesn't like about his sandwiches and something about pickles. And I'm just sitting there and okay,
Does he hate pickles?
I don't know if he hates pickles or he has to have them, because what they gave us, these papers are all ripped up and people are trying to put them together and they're not all together yet. So we don't know specifically just yet. But what I hearkened to and seeing that was, I'm like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada, or even the
Right.
I think it's the Countess from Cruella, Like, I was just like, this is someone who is very, very precise. They know what they want.
Right.
They've got people doing the other things for them, but their trajectory, and if you step in their way, they're going to squash you like a little bug.
I now I just have a head because I love pickles, so I'm just like my head canon, and for every if it's revealed that Harley loves pickles, my head canon is that he has a fridge in his office, a mini fridge, just for pickles.
You know,
It's
I
like
want that for him too.
no, because I can just see it like, wait, what was the guy? Leith Pierre is like, Leith Pierre's really like vexing me today. Where's my pickle?
And you know damn well that everyone who's going to be like, if they were to do something like that and like put that in the movie, and everyone who saw that scene, they're going to be judging what type of pickles he eats too. Good, like, is that Vlasic? Is that Clausen? What kind of brand is that? Did they make them themselves? Like,
Only a refined Epicurean as myself would only indulge in Clausen pickles and not Vlasic. That'd be funny.
that is so
That'd
good.
be like, because I can see like, Dr. Sawyer, we got you some pickles. Did you get me Vlasic pickles, man? Are you trying to kill me with mediocre taste? You would get me Clausen pickles and only Clausen pickles. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be thinking about this for the rest of the night.
You know, I hope Mob is listening to this. We need to include some type of pickle reference in one of the games.
Please,
Can we have this, please? Just give this to me.
please. That's all I ask.
So,
Zippers, thank you for telling me that.
oh no,
my
you're
gosh.
welcome. I'm hoping we find more about that, and when we do, and we find out if he does or doesn't like pickles, you know, we'll relay that to everybody. I think that would be really funny to find out. So CG5 worked with Elsie Lovelock and Nova Klopp to make the song "Mommy's Here." Would you ever consider, if approached, you know, creating a villain-esque song involving Harley?
Oh, that's a good question. If Mob is okay with it, I would love to try it. Harley having a villain song. Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking, was he a theater kid in high school? Because I could just like I haven't seen much musical theater, but I could just imagine him like my head canon. If he is a musical theater nerd, I feel like he would very much like Little Shop of Horrors
I'm
on
sorry,
the
I'm just,
lowest keys.
that's just funny to me because literally Elsie and I discussed Little Shop of Horrors in the interview as well, because she was in it. I played Seymour and it on stage as well. Like, it's so funny that this is now the third time this week that Little Shop of Horrors has come up in conversation.
I'm just saying because I could imagine it. This would be like, you see, now scenarios are playing up in my head. This would be like Miss Secretary, I'm having a meeting in my office for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Do not disturb me. Have no one disturb me. And if Leith tells me, asks to see me, tell him to go down to the basement, and they'll just be like, nothing will stop me from my little shop of horrors.
I love that. I also mentally picture the scene from The Lion King with Jeremy Irons playing Scar and the song "Be Prepared." Like that, like whole type of scenario, that type of like composition for the song itself. That's what I kind of like picture in my head. But I also could definitely see the Little Shop of Horrors portion as well. I think that would be also there's this funny poster in the first chapter of Poppy Playtime that specifically says don't hide behind doors to scare Leith Pierre. I feel like Harley was the one that was doing that just because that was the one thing that he actually enjoyed doing was tormenting other people, and that's how he could get to Leith.
Yeah, because that man, at least from what I understand, that man hated Leith. Oh my gosh, or at least if I can just like infer, because like again. I think it was like what videotape 2. I may be confusing it, but like I felt like that man hated Leaf. And at least that's just like from what I theorize. Again, because I think he mentioned it once, but yeah. But be prepared with yeah. I would if Harley Sawyer had a be prepared esque type song, that would be actually hilarious.
I would love that. I would love that so much. And it would just be in the laboratory with all these like grotesque things happening behind him, toy parts, and him just like singing with all these scientists just kind of being forced to join in at the same time. Just be like a chorus line, them covered in blood.
Just be like, and then like, wait. Mr. Armstrong, you're off key. I want you to be pitch perfect, damn it.
They just grab him and throw him to Boxy Boo.
Yes,
they get one wrong note.
Just like, and if any of you are off key, you will. I can just see it. It's like you will be meeting Boxy for a very intimate solo.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, musical nerd Harley Sawyer. It's I can already see the animatics. Already see the animatics because the fans. Someone animated. I forget the person, but someone animated for chapter 3. Dr. Sawyer's conversation with the prototype.
Oh, it was so good.
And
I remember that.
So good. So good. I think it was 2 versions. One was animation, well, 2D animated, and the other one was like 3D.
I think I've seen the 3D one.
Oh my gosh. Because I'm just like, I never, like, again, talented people. And also because it made me wonder, how big is the prototype?
That's what we all wanted to know. I actually showed that video, I think last month, to one of the developers because they hadn't seen it yet either. And they were like, oh, and of course they wouldn't tell me anything because I'm just like, hey, are we looking at something similar here? But no, I showed that to them because I love that whole take was so phenomenal. It really was. It's why whenever I play chapter 3, most people will watch that tape first before they go into the final battle with Catnap. I wait till after because I need to reward myself to watch that. That's how good. That's my favorite tape out of all the tapes that are in that game. That's my favorite one because your performance rocked.
Thank you, Timbers.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man. Like it. I hope we get to see more of him, Harley.
I hope we do too.
You know, I really hope we do because with him literally being the man behind the slaughter. I know it's the wrong franchise, but still.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, oh wow, I voice a character that is just as heinous as William Afton. That's crazy.
We love it.
That's is crazy.
We love it. So after finally making it through Playhouse in chapter 3, we encounter DogDay, who, as you said, is crucified and hanging up on the walls because he is the prisoner of Catnap. When you discovered that DogDay was being held prisoner and had his legs removed, what was your reaction?
Was that really necessary? Why do you have to? No, and I'm trying to think about this. Because, like, at least from what I understand it, that was Catnap who took DogDay's legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever I see people ship him, I'm like, why? He bit off his legs!
Yeah.
He was a good boy! He didn't deserve that!
Not at all. He did not.
Yeah, but, like, when I found him, when it was revealed that he was up there hanging, I'm just like, that's very unsettling. And then like the second question I had, because you know how those critters like crawled into him, I'm just like, I don't think this is the first time they've done this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is the first time they've done this. Because no, that's a little bit too specific of movement.
Yeah.
Y'all have done this before. He's chased other people there before. I don't know because to me, if you're gonna possess something, ain't no way you're gonna be able to do it first try.
Yeah,
ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. I mean, that's just me. That's just a skeptic in me. But yeah, I was just like, dang, he was the best boy.
He was. He really was.
I mean, if he's dead or not, I don't know.
I'm trying to find this image. One of the character artists, Amber Loves Bugs, who is just a phenomenal phenomenal individual and actually was one of the few that helped animate the Smiling Critters cartoon. We were in a podcast together. I think it was around Pride. And I jokingly said, you should draw Dog Day doing a death drop. But the ironic part is the fact that he doesn't have any legs. And so she was like, well, how would that look? And I'm like, well, then he's just laying like this with a little pride flag up in his hand. And I'm trying to find this picture so I can show it to you real quick.
How is he going to do a death drop if he has no legs?
I know. I was
distress.
evil. I was evil recommending that, but I thought it'd be hilarious.
Did you see the TikTok? It was like of Dog Day in the wheelchair, and it was like, I'm the last of the smiling critters. And then he fell over, and the catnap laughs, and then the smaller smiling critters beat him up. And then like, it's fun. I'm gonna try and send that to you because
Please, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh my gosh,
that is so.
It's
funny.
hilarious. It is like, again, the fans are hilarious. I love them for it. I sincerely love them for it, and I'm just like, I'm glad I can be part of a franchise like this, you know, because memes of my character. Of the character I voice.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
It really is.
That's a blessing. Also, it kind of freaks me out when I see people with Smiling Critters plushies. And I'm just like, oh, I voiced that. Of course, I'm not going to say it to everybody. But, like, when I am able to see, I'm like, huh. I voiced you.
Slowly move my head this way to show the Dog Day sitting on my bed.
Oh my gosh! Because I have the plushie. Because when I saw they were releasing, I'm like, I have to get it. This is the first character I ever voiced that has merch. Why would I not get it? It's on my desk as we speak. Like, yeah.
So I have that one. I have. They didn't. So Mob didn't make this one, but I think they licensed it to the GHS group, which is more of a content farm, and they made Smiling Critters plushies that were a little bit more accurate to what they look like in the animation. I have one of those, which a lot of people missed out on, and I keep getting messages from people asking if they could buy it from me, and I'm like, no, you can't have it.
$1 googillion.
But I have that one, and I have another one. I think a mini one around somewhere that I found at Walmart. I finally found the picture. I'm so sorry. It took me a minute.
So good.
There you go.
Why? Why is his face like that? it's the, yeah, I'm here. It's game time, Angel. And I have no legs, but I must stand.
So we're talking about Dog Day, and obviously they quickly became a fan favorite. There has been heavily debated topics around whether or not the main character from the game could have saved him. Do you believe they could have, or do you think how his fate played out in the game worked out better in the end when it comes to storytelling?
I feel like it depends because, all right, my first question that comes to mind for the rest of the Smiling Critters, they're most likely dead.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel like it could have been possible, but I feel like maybe Dog Day would have been a liability because of the critters.
Yeah.
Of the smaller critters crawling up inside him. Unless, like, you know, the player would be able to perform, like, the quickest 30-second surgery ever. But, or maybe to, like, tie up the ends so that way he's able to not get possessed. And, you know, it's funny because I know there's a mod. And with the mod, the mod specifically was like, you know, people saying, oh yeah, if Dog Day, you know, was walking around and everything, whatnot. And it's a cool idea. My only complaint was that there was an AI replica made of my voice.
Yep. Which is not okay, people.
And it was like literally, it wasn't even a month. It was like the middle of February. And I saw it, and I'm just like, I know you wanted more Dog Day. But this ain't the way to do it, friend. Dang.
Yeah, they could have reached out to you.
Literally, because if Mob approved, I would have done it. I literally would have done it.
Mm-hmm.
because of course, like again, have to report to mom because I'm like, I don't want to like, make anybody mad, but
Yeah.
I would have done it if mom allowed it, you know. And I'm just like, and because like my mentor, he was saying that I consider this a form of flattery. I get it, and you have a right to be angry. Just know that your performance hit them that much, and I'm like, I'm grateful. Just dang, man.
Yeah.
But I will say, like again, there's grace, and like I know, Timbers, I knew that AI replica. I knew AI was always going to come to my doorstep. At some point, but I didn't know it would be this soon. I mean, that soon, to be real for real with you. I did not know it was going to be that soon. But yeah, I feel like it would have been possible to say, you know what, there could have been an interesting conversation between Dog Day and Catnap. You know, maybe Dog Day would be able to try and like, hey, why are you doing what? I mean, of course, I know what you're doing, what you're doing, but all of our friends are dead. Is this really the life that you want? And maybe there could have been an interesting conversation, dialogue, and everything, whatnot. Maybe even a debate. I don't know. Heck, I wonder what if Dog Day would have been able to convince Catnap to like, yeah, this is not the way, and then all of them, along with Poppy. I imagine Poppy, Dog Day, and Catnap, and the player teaming up to go against the prototype and everything. That would have been interesting.
It would have been real interesting. I would have loved to have seen an actual dialogue between them, with Catnap, keeping him as a prisoner, because it was something that I learned last month when I was hosting a charity event raising money for a children's hospital. I had a few of the devs join me as I was playing the chapters, and there is a room before you get to where Dog Day is at. If you go right and open up these two doors, it goes underground. That's where Catnap sleeps. So Catnap slept there and was keeping an eye on Dog Day every day. And they didn't think to maybe give us a little quick snippet of them having a dialogue of Dog Day attempting to plead to make Catnap see reason. Like, I would have loved to have seen that, especially if he was literally sleeping feet away from him.
For real. Oh yeah, and this is where Catnap sleeps.
So he does sleep here. Okay. Right next to Dog Day?
Yep. Gotta make
Oh,
sure
man.
his prisoner doesn't escape.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was his prisoner.
Close eye on him. My gosh. Hopefully, there's something that could be explored. Maybe a VHS tape. I don't know. Something.
I would love that. You know, even if it's just like the CCTV camera showing that dialogue happening. Like, I would love to see that happen. Let's go back and make it happen, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Also, we need more Dog Day lines anyway.
I would love to come back for the role. I would love that. And even I'm thinking about, because according, like, for chapter 4, with the story so far, whoever was watching saw that interaction. I don't know. It could have been funny. I mean, sorry, not funny. Sorry.
It could still be funny. You never know.
that you know what? You're right. It's an exploration to be had. You know, especially with whatever narrating for the story so far has been watching the player for so long. I definitely can believe that, like, that's not the only screen, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's so funny you mentioned that, because we're going to be, my next two questions kind of tie together with those videos. So at the end of chapter 3, we were discussing this earlier about the dialogue that the prototype has with Harley Sawyer, and we find out he has the ability to mimic voices. What was it like contributing to one of those many voices that they can mimic?
Log code 24459. In relation, experiment 1006. The prototype. Stubborn as he is, and always silent with each passing session, I'm still uncovering fresh data nonetheless. Today's discovery. End of log.
Ready to talk now, are you? I possess
A question.
Go ahead.
Do you feel anything?
This question referred to what exactly?
You stick us,
Beat us.
tear at flesh.
Do you feel it? There's a secret inside you, 1006. Valuable beyond all measure. I cut and prod and burn at it. And I get closer with each session. So speak. Or don't. Fight. Or give in. Regardless, I learn something new about you every day. It excites me. Thank you. You thank me? Absolutely. I learn something new about you every day.
The crazy thing is, I don't remember even saying the lines. I mean, I know that's me and everything. Because like when I heard me, I was like, oh, so that's how they stitched it together. That's interesting. If I remember correctly, I think they used even different takes I've done because like I know learn something more about you every day. Like I did. I was like, did I say? I mean, I remember saying that, but I don't remember which take. I think because I was like, okay, I like this take the best, but I think they used that take and used a different one. Yeah, it felt it was chilling, and I'm very excited to see what more we learn of the prototype whenever Chapter 4 comes out. I think it's in January.
Yeah, sometime in January.
It's going to be very interesting, Tibbers.
It's going to be very interesting. So as we are gearing up for Chapter 4 Poppy Playtime, you were instrumental in helping voice the narration of the Story So Far videos. Tell me about the process for narrating those videos.
The narrations were long. And it was interesting, like, seeing this individual's perspective. And with this perspective, seeing that they've been watching for a good while, and at least from what I understand it, there's no like gap, no time skip between chapters 1, 2, and 3. This is all happening in what I assume, definitely not one night, a week maybe.
Yeah, I'm assuming it would have to be over multiple days, a week at least.
Maybe at least, at the very least. It was interesting to know that the narrator was watching that entire time. And, you know, I'm glad that I was able to, explore that, like, you know, how the narrator would, you know, certain inflections, you know, a little more, you know, there are times are serious. Other times that he would be, you know, what's the word? Not smirky, not smug. Smug is the best word. It was interesting, you know, having him play with those different emotions, being able to see his perspective and, you know, what more so of his thoughts, and especially with him actually being intrigued with the player.
Yeah,
you know.
There's a lot there, especially in that very last video that they made. Of course, my favorite line, and it just always sticks out to me, is when he goes, "And now here they come down like lambs to the slaughter."
Which brings us to now, doesn't it? Down they come, like lambs to the slaughter.
I just, that was written so perfectly, and it was also delivered perfectly by you as well. And I was like, God, coach chills. It was so well done, and you could really, you know, you're sitting there watching it. Of course, I'm always just like, well, is this Harley? Are we seeing this? Harley's watching us, or is this the prototype mimicking Harley's voice? We don't know. And so it was just, you know, from that perspective, and hearing him say that, you don't know who it is, because both characters honestly could be saying that. And I really love the fact that it brought so much depth into it, because you really don't know what's going on. Excuse my language, y'all. But you really don't know.
I had a funny thought. I don't think I don't think this is the case, but this is just a headcanon. Imagine if Harley Sawyer and the prototype had a watch party, and just like, hey, see it, like you see it. This player actually knows what they're doing. I like this person.
Yeah, they call it CCTV and chill.
CCTV and chill is hilarious. But yeah, I'm excited to see who it is. I'm very excited to see who it is. The I think someone made a game theory and everything about who it is, and it's just like, whew. I wonder who it is. I just get the script. They don't tell me anything.
Yep. They're just like, read this as a voice that you've already done, but we're not going to tell you if it's you or another character or anything else. It's just it's a surprise.
Like ambiguity. Oh boy.
We love ambiguity. It's always the best.
We love. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm not sure if you've kept up with the Chapter 4 ARG that's happening right now. We got some documents that allowed us to look a little bit more into the Chapter 4. And we discovered that Harley was instrumental in creating one of the future chapter's potential antagonists. His name is Yarnaby. Have you seen these documents? And if so, what are your thoughts? And if you haven't, I can kind of give you a synopsis of what they are.
I actually haven't been hip to the documents. I think I saw, what was it? Because they released something recently. We saw Yarnaby, correct?
Yeah. That was Yarnaby at the end of the trailer that they just released.
Yeah. So what for the ARGs? I'm curious. I'm out of the loop.
Yeah. So basically, this new antagonist that we're looking at was a kid named Quinn. And we get two documents that actually go over a conversation between Quinn and Harley, and then Harley's notes on it. And basically what Harley did was, once this kid was made into a monster, completely isolated it, would only let that monster be in contact with him.
Oh.
And I think the main reason he did that, and I'll send you these documents after we're done with the interview, is because that the other staff members were being too nice, because the character would slowly start warming up to them essentially. And when he saw that and saw that they were being nice to them, he was like, no, we got to stop this. He's like, I want to be this creature's night and day. Like, they should be obsessed with me. We don't know why, of course, but like that type of manipulation is on a deep freaking level, a deep-seated level. So that's why I wanted to ask you that question, because if you hadn't seen it, like reading those, I know I walked away and I was like, Harley's a great villain, and I think playing a villain is more fun than being a hero in my opinion. But I'm like, I freaking hate this guy because this is just awful. This is absolutely terrible to do to somebody.
It's like the more you find, at least for what it seems, the more you find out about him, is just like, my gosh, you're bottom tier trash, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that's just evil. I really wonder what his connection is with, what was the kid's name again?
Quinn.
Quinn. I wonder what's his connection.
I have no idea, but I know that in one of the documents he said he was watching Quinn in the game station when they were putting him through the tests, and then he reminded him, well, I really want you to do well on this next time you're going in. Like, he was very specific to make sure he told Quinn that. He wanted Quinn to, like, he was building some type of connection with Quinn before he even got turned into a toy. So the manipulation started real early.
Wow. I wonder if it's this child.
Don't know.
And then and you see that raises another question: who procreate with that? But
someone who likes pickles.
You gave me a jar of crisp Clausen pickles. Marry me. Be my wife. You're the only person that understands me. I may be... I'm very particular. I'm very particular about my women, like I am my pickles. Oh my gosh. You see, it was a jar of Clausen pickles, and Dr. Sawyer was like that's what sold him. That's what sold him. That's
Exactly
what
what
sold
sold
him.
him.
Oh, Timbers, you like you breathed life into this character in a way that I didn't think of.
You're
That's
welcome.
interesting. That's interesting.
Yep. I'll make sure to send you those
And,
documents.
and what was the kid's name again?
His name is Quinn.
Quinn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. Wait. Okay. In the again, this is headcanon. Say for example, if Quinn is Harley's child and everything, I can just imagine. I was going to name you Dill, but your mother wanted to name you Quinn, though I believe Dill will be a more suiting name because of my love for pickles. Oh my gosh.
And then I'm
Yeah.
just like, well,
Oh
what
my
about
god.
Tommy?
Tommy will.
Tommy Pickles.
Tommy.
Well, you said Dill Pickles. That's his brother.
You're right. You're right. You're right. It clicked. It clicked. It clicked. It just clicked. Oh my gosh.
That's how you know how
Oh
old
my
I am.
gosh. Oh my gosh. You're right. I'm sorry because I haven't thought about Rugrats in years. Because side note, I haven't watched the reboot. I'm sure it's okay. I'm
Mhm.
sure it's okay. I hope it is. Hope it is. But yeah, no, that's right. And then all grown up. Anyways.
Oh, all grown
I
up.
just remember all grown up. What a time.
That for real.
What
What
a
a time.
time.
Okay, so moving on from Poppy Playtime, I saw, and this is really exciting for me because this is another game that I grew up with. I saw that you're going to be voicing a character in Sly Cooper. Is that correct?
Oh, okay. It's not in the Sly Cooper game, unfortunately, only because there has been a new Sly Cooper game, but this is a nonprofit fan project by a Crexicon on Twitter. I mean X. Uh, anyways, it's called Sly Cooper: Rise of the Legendary Thief. It's more so like of a new take on the Sly Cooper mythos, and the character I'll be voicing, Clockwork. Clockwork was in the first Sly Cooper game.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like, he was, a plot device in Sly Cooper 2, Sly 2, but never really seen after that. And when all is said and done, we'll be able to see these new interpretations of these characters, especially with Clockwork, because for those unfamiliar with the character Clockwork, he's essentially as old as time. He's had a major beef with Sly's family dating back to, if I'm correct, Egyptian times.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman working on this project, his name is Gabe. Gabe has been working along with his team extensively on bringing something new with the lack of Sly Cooper anything.
Yeah.
The most we've gotten, at least within the past years, like a poster. And of course, maybe hopefully this will, breathe new life into the community, into the Sly community, and hopefully maybe even Sony will make more Sly Cooper games, because again, the audience, we haven't had a Sly Cooper game since 2013.
Yeah.
2013. I would think it was like what, 13, 14, around that time. And the fact that like we still haven't had a new Sly Cooper game, it's sad,
It really is.
Especially with a cliffhanger of all things. If they did decide to do say for example, if Sony was like, oh yeah, we're doing a reboot, if they chose to do so, of Sly Cooper, and if they brought back Clockwork, I would very much like to try to voice that metal owl, because it's a badass design.
It really is.
And the premise, and especially with what Gabe has done working on the not just like Clockwork, but everyone. I feel like for the newer fans and old fans, it's truly a treat. Truly something. Truly is going to be something very good because he's been working on this for about. Well, he and Simo have been working on this for about I believe like a year or two or so, and it's gonna. And the best answer I can give when it's coming out, when it's finished.
There we go.
But there's something very beautiful in the works.
Well, I can't wait to see it because I'm also a fan of Sly Cooper. Those were some good times to be had playing those games on I think it was PlayStation 2.
Yeah, no, you're right. PlayStation 2.
And it's crazy for me that they haven't done anything more because they keep trying to do stuff with like Ratchet and Clank. And I'm just like, all right, well, we've beaten that one, I feel, into the ground quite a bit now. You have other IPs like Jak and Daxter or Sly Cooper that would have been phenomenal to like invest in and actually explore those worlds.
Because it's there. The IPs are there. The IPs are right there. And again, if there is a quote made by a Nintendo executive, a rushed game will forever be a bad game. A delayed game will hopefully be a good game. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but just allow new people to be able to breathe new life into the franchise and let them cook.
Yeah.
Just legitimately let them cook. And like, again, you have the money, you have the resources, and quite frankly, I mean, are you familiar with what happened with the game Concord?
Yes, I am.
I've seen a lot. I haven't seen a lot of things crash and burn, Tippers. I haven't seen a lot of things crash and burn, but that was the quickest.
It was very quick.
Like, it's baffling. I was like, didn't the game come out like at least a month or two ago? And the fact that it was removed, I mean, like, or at least from what I understand, like, what, it shut down and then it got removed from the store altogether?
Yep.
Or am I tweaking? Oh, I'm not tweaking. Oof. So, take a risk. And plus, platformer, like, especially for Sly, platformer games, they're never going to go stale.
No, they're not.
They're never going to go stale. Ever. And I feel like there's a gold mine there,
Yeah. I can even say, just playing recently, there's another mascot horror game that came out called Finding Frankie, which is a combination of, how do I put this? It's like Squid Games meets Fall Guys meets Poppy meets FNAF Security Breach. And the idea of it is that you're basically in a game show and there's a lot of platform jumping around. Now, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the game, but oh my God, did it make me rage so much at times because it was difficult. I'm not going to lie, it was difficult, but it also brought my love back for games that are platformers like that. I don't like Fall Guys so much, but I liked the direction that they were going, and I can't wait to see where they're going in the future.
I think I've seen that on Twitter. Yeah. Wait, is it a demo out?
No, it's the full first game, from my understanding. I don't think it's a chapter even.
Oh, I have to look into this. I'm not into horror, but I do love me some platforming.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, there are a couple scary moments in there, but it's a lot of fun otherwise. Like, if you like running fast and having to jump around and dodge things, it's fun. It's fun.
Tibbers, I had a thought. And this has just been because of just playing Final Fantasy or just RPGs. I played Final Fantasy 7 and like the recent Sonic games and everything. You know what I would like to see?
What's that?
Either or, I would like to see a Smiling Critters platformer game or a Smiling Critters RPG. And it doesn't have to be anything serious. It doesn't. You could have those elements. But like, these are interesting characters because like I think I've seen like there's this one animator on YouTube. It was basically like sitcom scenarios of like the Smiling Critters playing hide and seek and everything whatnot. Like, there's so much potential with these characters. So much potential with these characters. I would love to see if Mom could do something like that. because I would buy that game. And he could give them like different abilities and everything. Like low key, you could go the Sonic Heroes route.
Yeah.
Just a thought. Like you could see what they did and then improve it, and then just have it be like a fun game, honestly. Because like and especially like with the nightmare critters and everything, I'm excited to see the future. And like I know it's the company's more going for indie horror. It was just like a thought that came to mind because I got attached with these characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it is funny, even seeing the nightmare characters, I'm like, I mean, y'all cool, whatever. But you ain't no smiling critters.
Yeah. I will say I do like the Nightmare Critters just a smidge more because they're a bit more edgy, and that's just kind of how I am. But I do love the Smiling Critters, and I've actually been saying for a while now that I would like a Cult of the Lamb-esque game involving the Smiling Critters where it was, RPG elements of battling, but also you go back home because we have designs of what each of the Smiling Critters homes look like. They could be almost be like Animal Crossing, where you are also simming and doing farming stuff at the same time and trying to live, but also having fun in battle. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Mob, if you're listening, take notes.
Please. I would actually love to see that. Oh my gosh. Because like again, these are fun characters. These are like nightmare critters and smiling critters. I would love to see what they could do for both. And honestly, like literally, it could be like a big grand adventure and a race to get the plot MacGuffin.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't have to be like, Mom, if you're listening, just consider us. Remember us.
Right. I'm still like leaving notes in the Discord to be like, oh, by the way, you'll have a movie come out. I would really just like to be in it in some way. Like even if my fate's on a flower pot, I don't care. Just put me in it. Just do it. I'm always about trying to help or not help, but like let them know things that I think would be good ideas as much as I can.
Yeah. No, listen, I get it. Because again, it doesn't hurt. Like, especially if something's well made.
Exactly.
But like there will always be people. And plus people are still trying to get more smiling critter stuff.
Oh yeah. They absolutely are. And they could really, if you're looking for profits, that's where it's at. Like put something together with those characters because it's going to sell.
Yeah. It's literal gold.
It really is. So while prepping for this interview, I discovered that you enjoy cosplay and have posted many cool images of your cosplay on Instagram. Do you have a character in the future that you plan to cosplay that you haven't, revealed to anybody?
Death from Puss in Boots.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Because like I'd have like if anything like a big speaker, and on loop I'd have the whistling, and then maybe because I have it planned out. Even today I was looking. I'm just like I could get the sickles and the wolf head and everything and whatnot, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it'd be worth it, but it's money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would love to do Death from Puss in Boots. I would also like to do Batman.
Okay.
I would definitely like to do Batman. Spider-Man, I have about 12, 13 Spider-Man suits.
Yeah.
I have 2 more on the way.
Literally, I wore one of my Venom tanks today for that reason, because I'm like, oh, you're a Spider-Man fan? I love Venom. There we go. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. Also, side note, I would love to voice Marvel if you're listening. If you're listening, Marvel, I would like to voice Venom. I don't care if it's in a pinball game. I will do my best. Please! Please! If anyone's listening, please! Oh my gosh!
That would be awesome.
Please! But yes, Batman, Death from Puss in Boots, and at some point, I don't know how, but I'm gonna make it work. All Might.
Okay.
All Might from My Hero Academia. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet, but I have to try.
I actually can send you some links. I have some All Might workout gear that I will wear on occasion. They're leggings and they're a tank top.
Is it from Sane Gear?
Just saying, yep. I've got it. And they're really comfortable. They're actually very comfortable.
I might have to consider, because the one look that I like the most, it's the Camino look.
Okay.
The like more because like when he like after his fight with All For One, I don't know why, but it was just and him still being like still fighting just. I'm an All Might stan.
Mhm.
I'm an All Might stan. For anyone wondering, I'm a big All Might stan. I have about like 6 All Might figurines because like again, like I know Deku is Deku is good, but I gotta love All Might, bro. You gotta.
Oh,
But All Might's another cosplay I definitely would love to try and do.
I would love to see that because I love All Might as well. They're a good, great character. See, we've got so much in common already. Damn.
You. And then, do you see the latest movie?
I haven't seen it yet. No, it's on my list. I'm behind on a few things right now. I still got to catch up with Agatha all along.
That's real. That's real. I recommend you watch it. I very much recommend you watch it. Because you've seen the trailers and everything, right?
Yeah, I've seen the trailers.
Yeah, Fraud Might on Fraud Watch. Because I was like, Deku's gonna make sure if anyone else is gonna make sure that you get packed up, it's gonna be Deku.
Yeah, that is the truth. This is the absolute truth. So my final question for you, do you have any advice to anyone who's listening who is wanting to go into the voiceover industry?
Yes. To anyone that is looking to start or looking for that perfect opportunity to start, just start. Literally, it does not have to be perfect. Hell, I can tell you, my first attempts were not perfect. They weren't. My literal first booth was basically a cardboard box, mattress padding, and 2 towels, one top, one bottom on my desk with a blue snowball microphone. And I started from there. Along with that, and I don't know who's watching, but I'm going to say this. If you have aspiring voice actor in your bio for whatever platform, take out aspiring. And I'm making sure I'm direct with this. You are not an aspiring voice actor. You are a voice actor. Don't let it be the fact that you set up the goalpost of, oh, when I have my first big role and everything and whatnot, then I'll consider myself a voice actor. No, you are already a voice actor. You're learning, you're growing, you're developing your skills. Do not let anyone try to dismiss you for what you know or for what you don't know. We all are growing. Not everyone knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we are students of the craft. We are always learning something new techniques, new inspirations, all of it. And one of the last things I'll say, make sure that you take classes. And when I say that, I'm also gonna say this with the asterisks. Do not pay an arm and a leg. Do not go broke. There are and this is by no means sponsored. There are ways to be able to take classes that are affordable. One of the courses that I've taken, and I know when time allows, I'm going to go back for even more classes for the 201 and 2 or 301 classes. Closing credits. It is an online voiceover school with talented individuals who work in the industry who come back and be able to teach newcomers, intermediate experts, the how-tos of the craft and how to improve. Because I know when I was younger, I wish that I was able to take classes, but I didn't know of any opportunities. And I know other voice actors who would charge the rates that they charge, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But with it, it was very expensive. And it shouldn't be, oh, you have to do this, or like, you have to pay this vast amount of money and everything in order to get the information that is easily accessible. Of course, D. Bradley Baker's I Want to Be a Voice Actor.com, that's another resource. I would just, again, encourage you, be able to, one, have a mindset to learn, two, take those classes, and collaborate. And I know I said that was my last thing, but this is another crucial thing. And the last thing I will say, while networking vertically is cool and is encouraged, networking horizontally is essential, because I have seen projects that have not had, a big studio backing them, but had talented animators, voice actor, artists, and other individuals who help in production be able to create fantastic stuff. I believe, like, one example being the Amazing Digital Circus.
Love that show.
Like,
So
it's
good.
such a good show. I remember when the casting call was out on Twitter, and a lot of people auditioned for it, and people were able to get their names out there and be able to just do their best. And now now it's streaming on Netflix.
Yep.
And it shows that, like, community is important, because I'm pretty sure, like, while there are people on that staff, there are friends and everything and whatnot, but there's also a community of their peers, of the community surrounding those who produced that show, supported them. So I say to the viewer watching, whatever idea you have, do it. Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. Don't wait till you have enough experience, so you have enough money. Because again, life is a learning process.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I put a goalpost for myself, thinking, oh, when I get a big role into a game and everything, I'm a voice actor. No, I'm a voice actor because I choose, and even if I get big roles or not, that does not diminish who I am or what I do or my talent.
Exactly.
It's so important, because, like, I know with social media nowadays, we all focus on, oh, so and so got this big role, da 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 da, and we make sure we applaud those who are able to achieve those feats and be able to have these roles and give these great performances. And with that, don't compare your journey to someone else's, because you don't know what they've done in order to get there, whether good or bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's all phenomenal sound advice, and I echo that 100%. Don't, especially with social media, especially with Twitter, because there's a lot of casting calls that go out there. If you see someone that who lands a role and you didn't get it, make sure you let them know that you're happy for them. Like, just because there's a lot of jealousy that happens, and I see it happen all the time when people just don't get anything, they don't hear any back, and they get very negative. And the best thing to do is to focus on the positive. You at least put the effort into to audition, and that alone makes you a voice actor.
Yeah, because auditioning is just the job. If we get, like, and again, it's not to say that, like, you're not supposed, like, 'cause I know sometimes I audition for stuff and I didn't get it, and I'm like, dang, and I feel down, but I'm like, but there's always something at some point, something's gonna stick.
Yeah,
something's gonna stick. Like, I acknowledge the feelings I have, because, like, I've been learning, or just reminding myself that, like, whatever feelings that I don't acknowledge, it's gonna eat away at some point.
exactly.
It just address the feelings, and, like, yes, you didn't get this, and that's not to say that, like, oh, because you did or didn't get this, or because if you didn't get this, it's not an indicator of your talent. It just wasn't the right fit, and that's only because of the director. And not to say that's bad on the director. The director made a choice on what sounded the best to them. And in the meantime, you keep on creating. You keep on doing your best. Keep on putting stuff out there. Heck, take it from a guy who did cat voiceover videos on TikTok. I got to voice a dog and an evil scientist while being at the end of my creative rope, making those cat videos.
Yeah.
So if it can happen for me, it can happen
Exactly.
for anybody.
Exactly. All right. Before we wrap up, I just want to let everyone know, because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about this. I am wearing a kigurumi today because it is Halloween, and I was jumping from things to thing today. So that is why I'm dressed like this. My outfit is kind of based on the Owl House. I was doing I'm an otter with a dark side, but I'm a wolf with a dark side. So that is why I'm wearing this. That's why I'm not normally in my flannel or shirts or whatever. But if you can, Baldwin, let everyone know where they can find you, where they can follow you out, and if you have any new projects you want to throw out there and, you know, promo as well.
Well, you all can find me at Baldwin Voices on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. I'm not calling it X. TikTok, Blue Sky, and I believe that's it. And no new projects coming out. Well, stay tuned. Stay tuned to Mob. That's all I'm going to say.
You heard it here first. Stay tuned.
Will I appear? Maybe. Who knows?
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. January's not too far away.
Bingo. It's not. I mean, it's literally going to be November tomorrow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I've literally got a month of work, and then I'm taking 2 weeks off and going to Chicago, which I need a break. I do. I need a break. But thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this interview. I know I told you it'd probably be about 30 minutes. We've gone an hour and a half, but this has all been phenomenal stuff and phenomenal stuff that we've discussed. And I appreciate you for giving me the time and just being an amazing voice actor. You're very inspiring, not just to me, but to millions out there. Keep doing what you're doing. Continue, you know, being the villain, because you've got a great voice for it as well. And I can't wait to see all the big things that are going to come from you in the future.
Oh man, thank you, Tibbers. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me, because I think this is the first interview with someone I was able to talk more about Dog Day and Harley Sawyer. And so when you asked me, I was like, oh, absolutely. And again, thank you for having me. I very much appreciate you.
Not a problem. All right, well, I will let you go then. Thank you for recording with me. I appreciate you so much.
Listen, not a problem. Listen, I'm happy to come here again when certain things release in the time that they are allotted.
Oh, don't worry. I've already made notes about that.
I love that.
I got a plan for the future.
I'm sure. Tibbers, you have a great evening, all right?
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, like and share it with all your friends. Please leave a comment below if you'd like to see me interview anybody else. And as always, subscribe to the channel. But until next time, everybody, stay safe out there, make good choices, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.